All right. Welcome to Watching with Styles. Second half of Youngstown State. Sorry for the technical difficulties. I have no idea what's going on. I probably need to hire someone, an IT person who's very smart at this, or a producer or someone. But I'm not quite at that level yet. So we're gonna have to fight through um, these issues until we get a little bit to another level. So, second half. Very interesting, man. It is great to be upset about leaving points on the board, but man, we really won 31-0. And we could have easily have put 50 points on this team. Easily. We gotta find a way to tighten things up. And the great thing about this is only the third game in the season. So you should expect some issues. It's just frustrating to see when there's things there that we don't perform to the level that's expected. First play, I was so wrong on this, and when it's live, I didn't really see it. I thought I saw something, but I was wrong. You guys have heard me say it time and time again. These guys on this side of the line of scrimmage, these guys on this side of the line of scrimmage are on scholarship too. Their coaches are paid well. They get meals and nutrition and all that stuff just like we do. This is just a great job by Bryce Oliver. It's just a great release, great use of his hands, and he just won on this one. He won at the line of scrimmage, and now Valentine is trailing. And on top of that, here's the deal though. All Valentine could have done better is right about there. He needed to squeeze to him more because most deep passes are not on time. This is behind him. If he would have been closer this way to him, he might have knocked this out. He's not in bad shape. He just wasn't where he needed to be. That was just a great catch too. Wasn't a great throw. That's a great catch. Great release. Great catch by Bryce Oliver. Kudos to him. Now this is just the definition of, if I can catch it, nowhere to throw. Remember how early in the season, I always go through this early in the season, you have a flat, you have a curl, you have a hook, you have a hook, you got curl flat coming down. We got this pretty much hemmed up. If you can look at this area here underneath, it's not a very good. This area here underneath is pretty hemmed up. There's nowhere to go. That's the advantage of playing zone defense. That's the advantage of all eyes on quarterback. It's just hard. You got to be really, really good. If the defense does their job and get into the zone they're supposed to and don't get caught trying to do somebody else's job, defense understand the weakness of the defense, that there's going to be voids. Don't try to jump in those voids because you think someone's going to get there and get out of your real estate that you're responsible for. Then they attack that area where you should be there and not in an area that they're not trying to attack. Or if they do attack it, just make a tackle. Only issue with this, see at the top of the route, watch Valentine's left foot because he's high and not balanced. got to get his chin. Oh, that's a bad way to do it. Got to get his chin over his toes a little bit more. He's a little too high. And because of that, right there, he drops his foot in the bucket. And see how his shoulders pop up right there? That prevents him from driving on this fast. But to beat decent DB play, you got to be perfect on your throw. When your throw is not perfect, this is what happens. DBU, great job. Man, how would you say the DBs in particular are tackling so far? Honestly, Charlie Cummings, here's the hard part how to answer that. I'm gonna give you your answer, then I'm gonna elaborate on it. Charlie asked, Van, how would you say the DBs in particular are tackling so far this season compared to last? See, last season we had some corners who were not aggressive. So if you're not aggressive, you're gonna make tackles because guys are gonna run to you, you're just gonna hug them, and then they're gonna fall to the ground. So honestly, the tackling wasn't bad last year as far as on the stats of missed tackles. The difference this year is the amount of yards gained before we try to tackle. We are now closing that cushion between the receiver / runner after he catches the ball compared to what we did last year. Because not every missed tackle is a bad missed tackle. As long as you're aggressive and make the receiver turn to where all your other teammates are. If you are aggressive, get a contact on him, make him have to veer away from where he wants to go, and then make him go the direction you want him to go. The other 10 guys on the team should be running to the ball. And even if you miss it, slowing him down, making him regather, start over from zero again as far as his speed, his pace, that's all you want to do as a DB. And we have done an excellent job of that. We are driving on the ball. Our eye discipline is a little bit better this year, so we can drive on the ball a little earlier and get to the receiver a little earlier before he's able to become a true running back, a true runner of the ball. So I would say we have done really well. The DBs have played on average. I'm gonna give the DBs a A-, B+. They have played really well this year thus far. Now, when I saw this play in the game initially, I'm like, this call makes no sense. This is borderline stupid. But then when they went for it on fourth down, I'm like, oh, y'all were going for it on fourth down regardless. When y'all got inside the 40, y'all were going for it. This was a 2-down situation. And what happened was they was trying to catch us catch these guys thinking that it's pass. And if you look real closely, let me zoom in. They almost got us. Watch square. On snap of the ball, he's going into coverage. Watch. Snap of the ball, he's getting back. Then he retraced real quick. That's the difference of experience. And that's the difference in this play, really. Because they thought they can get one on us. They maybe thought they can get 5 cheap yards and maybe get this thing to 4th and 5 or 4th and 4, but there's nothing there. See where square made a difference? He went back, he retreated, and that gave a little bit of an angle for the O lineman, but his reaction was so good, and everybody stayed in their gap, there was nothing there. So now it's 4th and 10. Now, this is very hard on a corner because basically what we're doing is playing press bail. The problem is they have gonna do it to me. So the problem with Press Bell is in this situation, when I get it back up, they had 3 receivers to the other side. So with single high, man under look, the safety has to be over the top of more of those 3 receivers than the single side. So that backside corner, which was Valentine, is really almost on an island. The problem is he's playing press bail, which is outside technique. So he's just automatically beat inside just by alignment alone. This is your single high safety. And they have 1, 2, 3. He's got to shade this side a little more threat over there. Also, this guy comes, I think. So now we lose a guy that can be underneath a throw. So this makes Valentine susceptible to this pass because he's playing outside technique. He has no underneath help here to at least make him think I got to elevate just a little bit. That's almost a dart. But this is great. Remember on the earlier play, the first play of the half, where he was not tight on Oliver? See how tight he is on him? That allows him to stick his hand in there. And rip it out. Now, what I like about this is, what this tells me is in practice, this guy competes like this. Because I don't know if you've seen plays where receivers are running a score and DB is coming this way and he basically almost gives up. He's like, he's going to score in a way. That's a habit that's created in practice. You always run through it. You never know what's going to happen. I will dive at that guy's feet, even if he's at the 2-yard line. You never know. You might clip his feet. He might touch out of bounds and they get the ball on the 1-yard line, similar to what happened to us later in the game. So this explains to me this is how we compete in practice, and it's a habit. He kept tugging and tugging and got that ball out. That is a great play with a guy who was in a position that was not very advantageous for him. But you can see right here, eyes on the ball. He is pulling now. He knows his hands, he's got a shot at this and yank that thing out. That is a big time play. It doesn't seem like it, but that's huge. I don't know who Youngstown State defensive coordinator is or the line coach. These guys play with such discipline. It's remarkable. We could never get a boot or a waggle out of this without one of these guys in our face. They never bit for the zone fake. They never bit because this is a situation where he just got to be a little more patient. He needs to sit with that a little bit. But he hit the ball, and this guy did not try to beat that zone play down the line of scrimmage. He stayed at home, which is really damn good because it's not, at first it was just number 17, but it's like everybody, and that was a dime. That wasn't quite a full dime. That might have been half a dime because a little bit further inside, and that thing might have been picked. So that was close, but great route, great catch. Get us a big chunk play. Like I said, the O-line is not perfect, by no means. But they gave Will a clean pocket. His feet were clean consistently. It's something to have on talent because his mechanics right here are absolutely horrible. But when you got that kind of cannon on your shoulder, you can do some things mere mortals can't. But that was horrible mechanics. I honestly thought, I guess I didn't watch enough of Baron Brown. I thought Baron Brown would have a little more wiggle, a little more hips. He got the speed though. All I got to do, beep beep. Once you get outside, it's hard. But I thought he would have a little more wiggle. I'm gonna show this from we got an end zone cut. Number 17, man, is a menace. All right, this how you know they were expecting him to come down because Horsey did not even attempt to block him. They knew that this guy was going to be eliminated by the eye cannon in the backfield, and Horsey was going to go to the next level and block. Because, like I always say, in the SEC, he's omitted. With a good SEC back, he should almost not touch you. He should not make that tackle with almost 10 yards of space, then another probably 3 yards of horizontal space. He should not touch you. But with this guy in the picture, now it's 2-on-1. And now he can just squeeze you to him. Now it's hard. This guy made the down play. Period. And he did that all game. And he made a great tackle. I think Brown just need more. No, John. Here's the thing. Either you have wiggle or you don't. Core strength has nothing to do with great hips and feet and being able to manipulate people. That's a born trait. It's a born trait. Just like speed is a born trait. Having that shiftiness is born. Now you can accentuate it a little bit with drills, but no, it's just born. This is one that bothers me, and this is the inexperience. You don't do this in college. And as one of these big linemen, I would be pissed off that I ran all the way over here and you didn't even set me up. He ran not even to his blockers. His blockers are coming this way. They're sealing. Wilson's still there. I think that's Cox sealing here. Flax is coming to seal here. So if that's the seal, that's the alley. This could have been a really good play if you look at it. If he goes right here, and I highlight this on the cut up, so I'm not going to spend too much time. We got block. We got another free blocker. We're trying to seal. We got a blocker here. But he ran away from the blockers. Look at that. Why would he go straight up the field? Like I said, I think that's just inexperience, not knowing the true scheme and how to run. This is not high school. High school, this is what, see, I learned this quickly. I learned it real quickly. It's not high school anymore. Every player is on another level. Even the walk-ons are better than most of the people that you face in high school. So you just can't do high school things in college. It just doesn't work. See, that's just arm arrogance. But like I highlighted this play too, there was some confusion. First, I'm not sure what the route concept is. Because honestly, Barry Brown doesn't do a good job of being a good teammate and freaking clearing out. Because honestly, this is what my layman's ideal, maybe more than layman's, I know a little bit, is I think he was supposed to clear out. He was supposed to come under and there. Now you got 3 levels. Now you got 1, 2, 3 levels. Right now, there's not much separation between Barry and Brown and Tavian Robinson. But you know what? Who saved him? He did. Because look at what Robinson's doing right now. First, he's looking at this defender, linebacker. Okay, what is he doing? He's expanding. Now he looks here. When he looks there, he sees Jackrabbit not clearing out. So it would be dumb for him to run right here. You got two guys in the same spot. So what he decides to do is just check up. And I'm very confident saying that's not what he's supposed to run. Because Magwood is supposed to be the underneath occupant. But this is just, for me, not 100% sure, guy being a football player. Understanding, and then he just sits. Because there's a whole lot of movement here. If you can see it right at the top of the route, he was like, should I keep going? Right there, he's like, should I go? No, he's like, oh. You can see him almost leave, almost vacate right in there. Just watch his body movement right there. He's going to vacate. Nope, I'll stay. I think I have an end zone cut of this. And I've been saying this for the past couple of weeks. It's just a whole bunch of mistakes. Now, they will snap it too early. Because right now, Wilson and Upshaw are the same level. Now, what's worse is now they blocked the same guy. They took two guys, right? They blocked the same guy. One guy is supposed to have this linebacker. And here's the crazy, one guy's supposed to have him, one guy's supposed to have him. And I think it's a fact, either Wilson is that fast or Will's got to let Upshaw get further in the formation on the motion. Maybe he's got to get him on the other side of the ball. Because now, just watch. What if one of them sealed that defensive end who came under, then the other one went for the linebacker who makes the tackle? This guy. Let's imagine one of them went there. We got Horsey here. Let me do it more. We got Horsey here. We would have one of these guys here. We got a guy here. And we got Magwood here. He would have been able to go right in there and might be still running. Watch. Imagine he's gone. Imagine the guy who's making the tackles block. Look at that hole. That's a hole. That's a seal. There's an alley there. Now you got one guy and maybe a safety coming over late. That's how close we are. And we still get yards, but man, if we can execute better. That's when you get the big runs. Now, this is obviously, I showed this. That's a screw up. And you know it's a screw up because Upshaw can't come this way and then wrap and seal. That's very hard. Everything is going this way. But sometimes things work out for you. And we was fortunate. This is a great call. Also bad execution. But see how finishing the play means something? We got to recognize, and I don't know if it's right because he's not coming right now. Because if you see, we are bringing the house. I think he has peel on this. What I mean by peel, if this back comes out, he's got to peel with him. And for some reason he didn't. The only person who felt this screen was Deion Walker. That's the only guy. He's the only one that recognized and felt screen. Probably because he was being double teamed and then he felt them release off of him. The only bad part about it, he's a big man. And then we got two guys, and this is hard. Childress has to trust that Valentine is going to keep contained and force the running back inside. Childress overran the play. He's got to play inside shoulder, inside out. So now we got two guys outside, and now we're dead. But that's the way to run by Ty and by Key coming from the other side. I still don't think that's a PI. I really don't. But I can see why he would call it. And like I said, I think it's when he turned his head and he lost sight of the ball. You can see the back of his helmet. And that's when he pulled his flag with contact. Now you can see this one. You don't see the back of his helmet. You see his face mask. So he played it better that time. Gets an INT. Great cleanup block by Wright on their ex-teammate. But that's good stuff, man. This right here is good stuff. Now, I'm still not a believer in hand fighting here. I'm more of a believer of pressing him to the sideline. Get my body in between him and press him to the sideline. When you do that, you wouldn't get this pick, though. But that's just how I was taught. That's a great pick. Great block. Now, get your ass down. See, just for example, this is a good angle. So instead of me staying like this, I would put this shoulder into his chest and force him to the sideline. But that's good stuff, man. Good hand-eye coordination. Great interception, great play. It preserves the shutout. Big time play. I'm not going to lie, that's a big time play. I'm just surprised. I don't know if Smoke tripped right there. And here's the deal. It's easy saying it looking down on the field. Then when you got a POV of straight ear, everything looks a little different. But I'm surprised he didn't and bounce this thing outside. Because the thing about zone, inside or wide zone, you can take it wherever you want. And that's a great. I cut this is Will being Will. He knows where he wants to go. Before the play, he checked it. He knows where he wants to go. Now, Wilson's got to get here though. But Will, with that arm talent, he's able to retreat, give himself some time, get away from the inside blitzer to lay this dime. And this is a perfect slot fade. And the reason why it's so good is see how much room he's got to throw it. Let me go back. So you got a big margin of error. He started on a hash. That is, what is it, 17 yards? Is it not 17 yards? It's 9 yards at the top of the numbers. It might be 16 yards, 16, 32, somewhere around there. It might be 17. 17 yards of space to drop this in. That's a lot of room. You don't have to be perfect. That's a great throw. And then allow Bates to run away from the from the defender who should have inside leverage. That's a great catch, great throw. This was blocked pretty well. You can't block the safety. He just comes down and makes a good tackle. Now, honestly, we can't allow him to make that tackle one-on-one. Not this well. We got to do something there. Got to do something. That's a one-on-one tackle in the phone booth, and you let him mid-plane you. Man, this is a touchdown, man. This is a touchdown if we can pull this off. And this is not, they didn't do anything crazy. I don't understand why Cox came off of that guy. And like I said, unless he thought there was a call and the running back is going to sit in the middle and take care of anyone that's leaking. And Wright didn't do that. Because he just let that guy go. And it's 3-on-3 over here. That's the frustrating part. You got mano y mano, 1, 2, 3. And now you pass on any game. Now, on that move, now I think Wilson will have to come here to 8. And then he's got to be here too. He's got to be looking both ways. If you give him Will a couple more seconds, look how far. Look, that's minimum 3 yards. And that's after the pass. That is a touchdown. That's a touchdown. Now, after that, we get this. Now, I don't know what to say about this because Tavion chipped him. And then 7 came late. But Will also needs to have some pocket awareness and step up in the pocket. Step up in the pocket. Damn. We just left. That's leaving points on the board. That's leaving points on the board. Had a touchdown the previous play, and now we let that happen. This is great. This is textbook operation on how to do your job, set an edge, and make a tackle. This is great team defense. As a running back, you see color. Color presented itself. Now we got to bounce it. And when you bounce, now this guy takes care of his job. There's absolutely nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. That's good team defense there. I'm telling you, these guys were locked in the whole game pretty much. And that's hard. Phillips got to drive the body and not inside. See how he's so far inside? Now he's beat. You got to drive the body. In this situation, I want him to turn this way. So I might drive that left shoulder to force him into all of this mess. Don't want to force him out here because there's not too many people else out there. As a corner, you know that. That's a great job. I love it. Doing the banana and force him to the sideline. Not letting him being able to cut back. That's all you want to do as secondary. Keep making them snap the ball. I don't care if it's an inch line. Keep making them snap the ball. They just couldn't handle us. This was an unfair fight on the defensive on in the trenches, basically. Again, textbook. We are right now. This is 10. We're about 12 and let's say 13 and a half yards away. Ball is in the air. Ball is in the air. We are coming. Now, he is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards from the line of scrimmage. We were at one time like 11 and 12 yards, 11 and 13 yards. Now we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yards. So we made up like 6, 7 yards in the air. By the time he caught it, he's 2 yards from the line of scrimmage. By the time we reacted, he's 2 yards from the line of scrimmage. This is perfection. Even though Valentine missed the tackle, he forced him inside. If Valentine would have went inside and allowed this guy to come here, he might get 8 yards. Because now that makes, I think it's Jackson. It would have made him run 5, that's 7, probably 8 yards further. Now he doesn't. Now everybody able to rally, and it's a no-yard game. I don't know if I'm sure everybody's watching this. Remember Mississippi State last year? I'm still scarred by that. These last 2 weeks we've made some really good strides on taking that away. Man, that's just a jailbreak. I can't believe they didn't give Keaton Wade the whole sack. That's no help. That's his sack. That should be his sack, and somebody else should get a half a sack. Now this is zone blocking with a toss. And it's pretty damn well executed. I know somebody asked, was it last week or this week, about zone blocking? This is pretty good zone blocking. That was pretty damn good. Easy pitch and catch. Where are we at? I'm at 40 minutes. Again, my goal all this year to keep this thing under an hour. I didn't highlight this one. I'm going to tell you what sometimes I think quarterbacks do. Definitely in high school, some in college, in the pros, you can't do it. I honestly think Will locks on to receivers. Not a solo receiver, but as a quarterback, you should lock on to a defender. Because then, for example, like this. When number 5 widens out, it creates a window, a huge window for the slant. All right. If 5 would have stayed here, if you're reading defenders, then you would automatically throw it to the flat. Because now this guy is out leveraging this guy if he's where the yellow arrow is. So then if the number 5 stays where the yellow arrow is, now when you throw it to Smoke, he can turn up the sideline. But in that case, it's got to be a quick read because you want to give him the ability to turn up. So if you're looking at 5, you know right now when his shoulders pointed that way, you know that this is going to become open. If you see the numbers, now you know get it out here quick. That allows him to turn up the field and get some yards. I think sometimes Will's looking at us and not so much looking at the opponent. And that is a result that gets you stuck sometimes because you're stuck on the of he's going to get open. pretty good run by Smoke. Yeah. We got away with that with the 15-yarder. Even though it's first down, I think we probably still could have got it in 2 more downs. Now, I'm going to say this. Barry and Brown, last week, didn't wait on his blockers. Now, he's still not great at it. But at least he went after Horsey. Okay? A little more patience. And here's the thing. With his speed, he catches it and goes about 60% and wait. Then he can cut here. This guy's not going to tackle him. Not in space. But I like the way he waited, at least on Horsey. We got a little something. But that screen is about patience and knowing that you're faster than the big boys coming downhill. But Youngstown State, man, they did a good job of reacting to some of these things. I don't know how hard you realize this throw is. So he's 2 yards, so that's 10. That's basically a 20-yard throw, right? But it's not a 20-yard throw because you got to take into the account of here. This is the length of the throw right there. So that's 20. And this is probably 30. So 9-4. So that's 16. That's almost a 40-yard throw probably. You know, you go, I'm an engineer, so A squared plus B squared equals C squared. So you got 3 plus 2 squared because you take the 0 out. So that's 9 and 4. What's that? 9 and 4 is 13. So that's like that's a long ass throw. It's almost a 40-yard throw. Right? That's pretty damn good. That's crazy. The way he just flicks it. Watch the flick. This is not a full body throw. That's just a flick. That's a damn good throw. Again, they did not bite on any other play fakes, the zone play fake away. They didn't bite on Ayers. This is a recipe. All this action going this way. And this guy does not try to beat it under. He stays in his job. And damn, that's discipline. That's damn good on their part. That's amazing. You got to block it better. But because if you ask me, if we block it better, I think he gets it down here to Barry Brown. But you got to block that better. Dang, got to just let go. He's just got to let go there. He did his job. Right here, he did his job. When you feel him, you got to let go. Now, high school, you might get away with that pancake. And Will does not have to throw this like this. He's clean. There's no reason to throw that ball like that. Step into it. Now, I'm still going to subscribe. It's no way that these two guys should be this close. Remember, every offense, there's just layers. And there's no layer to that. I think this Lewis should have been about right here. I think that's where Will was throwing to. I think this is not on Will. Like I said, well, yesterday. Did I do this Sunday? I did this Sunday. I don't think that's no. This is second half. Did it Monday. I don't think that's on Will. I really don't. I really think that's on the receiver and Will thinking he was going to be deeper. But Will also has to have better mechanics and throw that ball better. Now, this is a bullshit call. This is textbook, as I would call it, old school technique. This is what I was talking about with Valentine earlier. He presses him to the sideline. His head is back. He's looking for the ball. Because he's doing that, you can't call PI. You just can't. And he called a PI because he's physical and he forced him to the sideline. That's not pass interference. That is perfection. Bullshit. This is the advantage of zone, people. I keep on saying this. This is the advantage of zone. Watch when the front hand come off the ball. Right there. Look at his angle. If you watch me sometime, you know I talk about this. Look at that angle. He's coming downhill. He's taking one step before the ball was thrown. He's taking a step downhill before the ball was thrown. Now, how else do you think he could tackle that for a negative gain? If he would have waited until the ball was thrown, he would have got out leveraged and this guy might have had a chance to turn up on him. But you know why? Look at his helmet. Look at his eyes. His helmet never changes position. See that? Never change position because he's looking at the quarterback. He doesn't look at the receiver until now. See that? He's looking at the quarterback. I want you to notice this. Look at his helmet angle. You see that cat on the helmet the whole time. It has not changed. Looking at quarterback. Looking at quarterback. Ball release. I'm driving. Now I see the receiver right there. Now I make the tackle. That's textbook. And that's by a damn freshman. That's fucking good. He was coached up well in high school. That is remarkable for him to be doing that at this stage in his third game on the college level. Making that kind of play is just crazy. I don't know why right. This is wide zone again. I have no idea. So here's the difference. Wide zone and inside zone. Wide zone, you're shooting for outside hip of the tackle, basically. Inside zone, you're shooting for that. That's a bad drawing. More of that B gap. That's the only difference. So right now, we got this thing here. See that? Look. I don't know who this is. This is probably, if that's Flax, Wilson. That's Seal. Flax. Dingle. Why we cut it back this way? You just ran right into the block. This is going back to Pee Wee. You go off the butt of your blocker. If he would have went here, phew, no telling how far he would have ran. He just ran right into the damn where the block was going. Honestly, I can't believe Will threw to the dingo right there, the fullback. That's crazy to me. One problem I have with this, as I was taught when I played quarterback, and this is in high school, although I was coached by a college level offensive coordinator. He coached at JUCO, and he was offensive coordinator at ULM. If you don't see any safety in the middle of the field, you throw him open this way. And when you throw him open that way, it makes your margin of error a lot bigger. Because if you throw it on him here, you better be perfect. But if you would have threw him across the field, he's going to run away from this guy even more. And now it can be short, and then he'll just come up and get it. If it's long, he would adjust with his speed and go get it. But when you throw it this way, your angle is bad. It makes it a much more difficult throw. Because there you got to be almost perfect. Now, this is how you run a bubble screen. See how he went underneath? See, these are all fucking linemen. These are all linemen. We've had guys earlier run in front of him. We've had them run in behind one, but in front of these two. When you're patient, that's perfect. Big Cox on turn on the afterburners on that one. See how he waits? Now he's behind them. Now all we gotta do is just get that guy. You get that guy at 6, and now it's 35. So that's how many points we left on the fucking board. We left so many points on the board. Now, I've heard people complain, why didn't we run the ball? Guys, we up 28-0. They have no chance of going. We are working on stuff. We're working on, can we execute certain kind of plays in red zone? Maybe it can be a 2-point play. Although, Will, you can't do this. You can't do this to us. You can't try to run over him. Try to get your ass to the pylon. We don't need you to take on this punishment. We don't need that. We don't need that. Hit that hand. Hit that throwing hand. They were in trouble. Lewis. Two things. Either Tavion's got to reduce his split, or Lewis got to come now. Here's the deal. There's 2 ways you can run this, all right? And this is the advantage. If Tavion's going to stay out this wide, Lewis might have to get a little tighter. And this is why you got to get a little tighter. Because if you get a little tighter, this guy gets a little tighter. And if he gets a little tighter, it makes this block easier. But you can't get too tight because you have to make this block. And with this distance, I'm pretty sure this is on Lewis. He's got to come now because these guys are going to come and get that guy. See how Lewis goes? No. He's got, look, I don't know who that is. That a tight end? Look how fast he gets to here. You should be here. That's a fuck up. He's too late. Now Robinson like, oh shit, he's right on me. But look, if Robinson would have went here, it's a touchdown. Fuck, it's just execution. We got to execute better. Alignment assignment football is what we got to do. Now I'm going to let this run because these are the backups. Oh, I want to say this one. Love it. We can't do this. We can't come. Did I love it? Who is that? That Childress did. Whoever this guy is, we can't come out and take out, that's Childress, take the legs out of our guys. We could have got an injury by friendly fire. There's no reason for you to come like that. No reason. I like you coming downhill, but no, man. That's not smart. You could have got one of our guys hurt. And we already have injuries. Stay up. Now, for us to preserve this shutout, we're playing backups. to me says a lot. Guys still where they're supposed to be for the most part. That's a block in the back. I really like the Wade kid. I think he's going to be special. Love it. We can't miss that. Can't miss that. That's a way to push the pocket, collapse it. He couldn't step up in the pocket. He wanted to, but there was nowhere to go. Good break on the ball. 3 guys on the receiver. Great job. Now we got to get off the field. Great pass rush. Great job by Phillips. And now we got a Beckless sighting. Now, is Beckless really going to play running back? Now, everybody's highlighting this Goodwin block. I'm not going to highlight too much because he's going against a backup. He's just going against a backup. Still, he executed, but I'm not going to get too excited. All right, guys and girls, that was another good game. We got to keep improving. I think this is the week it happens. I think offensively, getting everybody back, because Manning didn't play this week, getting everybody back on the offensive line, I think we get it, and we get it big this week. I think we hang up a 5-piece on poor Northern Illinois. All right, guys and girls, I will see you next week, Monday, noon Eastern Standard Time. And hopefully it is a glorious, and we do what we're supposed to do. You guys and girls have a good rest of your Tuesday, and I'll see you next week.